What's going on, everyone? My name is Sherwin and I'm in the Model Y studios, and in this video we're going to be talking about hitting the 10,000 mile mark. Actually, I'm over 10,000 miles now, but this car was delivered August 31st 2022, and this happened February 27th at 7:57 a.m. while I was charging. So 180 days from delivery and I hit 10,000 miles. I've been driving a lot, so in this video, we're gonna go over several things, the history of this car, and the likes, the dislikes, the other issues, and some data I wanted to share with you. Excuse me for my voice, I'm a little bit congested. I think it's allergy season once again, so I sound like DJ Premier. All you hip-hop heads, if you know DJ Premier, this is kind of like how he talks. So this Model Y Performance is our third Tesla. My first Tesla is the Model 3 long range, which I got back in December 2019. The reason why I traded my Model 3 long range for the Model Y Performance is because I wanted a larger vehicle. I wanted a vehicle where I sat higher, and I was after the utility. So what I bought with this car is a hitch. So I have a hitch. I paid the extra $1,000 option, and I also have a bike rack. I have a video on that bike rack if you guys are interested on the Kuwait bike rack that I got. Also, I just wanted the larger space to bring things. Now, don't get me wrong, the Model 3 is pretty spacious. But this one actually, because it's more of a hatchback, you could fit like taller objects in the back. This car, when you fold the seats down, you could store a lot of big things in here. So we recently moved out of our storage place, and because we bought a shed at my parents' house, and they were kind enough for us to bring our stuff into storage into the shed that we bought them. So we're sharing the shed space in exchange to use some of their land in the backyard to store things. But I had to move a lot of that stuff off of the storage space and into my parents' backyard, and this Model Y can haul a lot of stuff with the seats folded. So yes, this is the third Tesla we own. The second Tesla we got is Abby bought a Model Y long range 7-seater, and the only reason why we bought it was the car she really wanted is the Model X, and we knew it was going to take over a year to get, and we needed a car in the meantime, so we bought the Model Y long range 7-seater. And some of you may be asking, well, why did you trade in the 3? You could have just kept the Y long range 7-seater. Well, I'll tell you why. So here's my list. It was a good car, but the thing is, I didn't want the 7-seater. At the time we were ordering the Model Y, I had suggested to Abby that don't get the 7-seater. We don't need the 7 seats. Get the Performance. You're gonna upgrade the wheels anyway. So we paid $2,000 for upgrading the wheels, and we paid $3,000 at that time for the third row 7-seater option. So we've already spent $5,000 on stuff that, man, I don't know. And a little bit more, we would have had the Performance. We would have had the wheels. We would have had the suspension. But she didn't care for that. She wanted the 7-seater. Because if we would have had that Performance, we wouldn't have done anything to it. I would have probably traded in my Model 3 for the X, which was the plan. Also, the wrap that she got on her Y, I mean, it looked nice, but it wasn't my cup of tea, as they say. So, yeah, I didn't. Nah, that's just not me. So that's why we traded. Well, we didn't trade it in. We sold it actually. Also, the original idea was for me to trade in my Model 3 for the X, but then I was like, wait a minute. So if we trade my 3 for the X, but then I'm gonna get to ride or drive the Y that I wasn't really into, I don't think that's a fair trade. So I ended up trading the 3 my 3 for this Y performance. Now that Model Y we bought for, I think, $57,290 according to the documents on the website, before taxes and registration. We also got a $1,500 cash rebate from the California Clean Fuel Reward. We did spend $3 grand on the wrap. We drove it for 17,000 miles, but we sold it for 58,000. Which some of you were like probably gonna say like, oh man, you could have gotten more for it. Yes, we could have gotten more for it. I just didn't want to go through the hassle. This was pandemic resale value time, so yeah, we could have sold it for more. But at the same time, we felt that we broke even after using it for 17,000 miles. The person we sold it to is an extended friend. And they live nearby, so if I ever wanted to see my wrapped Model Y or Abby's wrapped Model Y, more than likely I could see it on the streets. And they paid cash for it, so no hassle, less hassle. I mean, it's just, you know. So here are the likes of the car. This is a true electric car. All of Tesla's cars are true electric cars. Now, what do I mean by true electric cars? If you were to compare, now I haven't owned any other electric cars, but I've seen some videos on other brands and stuff. But companies like Tesla, Rivian, Lucid, they're doing electric cars correctly, I guess you could say. And what I mean by that is, again, I've never owned any other brand except Tesla, but what I've seen on videos and other people sharing it, the legacy automakers, the way they're doing electric cars, it's not like an all-in thing. They're putting like features of the old gas cars into these electric cars. Pretty much what they're doing is they're just taking out the gas part of the vehicle and slapping on a battery and an electric, you know, just electric motor and stuff, but they're keeping everything else. And I think a lot of people are missing out on all the nice features of a full-fledged electric car. So an example is, there's no on or off button on Teslas, on Rivians, and on Lucids, like the true electric cars. There are no on and off buttons. The car is always on. Just think of it as your cell phone. It's always on, right? If it's in your pocket, it's always on. You just wake it up. So I never understood why, like the Ioniq 5 or, you know, all those other cars with the push to start, I never quite understand why do you have to start the car? It's an electric car. It should be always on. If you're not using it, it's just gonna be on sleep mode or hibernation or something like that. But I never quite understood, and it just feels old. But yeah. And another thing I wanted to bring up, so the Ioniq 5 has this over-the-air update. I guess it's over-the-air. It's an update, right? But when I looked further into it, it's a TSB. It's a technical service bulletin. And what this update does is it enables preconditioning for the Ioniq 5, meaning it prepares the car as you're going towards charging the vehicle. So it prepares the temperature of the battery so that you could charge quicker. Just stuff that the Tesla already has. But here's the weird thing. You have to bring it to the dealership. You just can't download the update. Like, you have to go to the dealership so that they can install an update. So again, I don't understand that. And because I'm already used to how my Tesla is, when they mean over the air, it really is over the air. I don't have to go to Tesla and say, hey guys, how's it going? Can you apply this patch? Like, so it's convenience, right? So that's what I mean by Tesla gives you that true experience of an electric car. I know there's other examples, but those are the two that come into mind right away. The lock and unlock, where you walk up it's gonna unlock. You walk away, it's gonna lock. I mean, that's just so convenient. Whenever I have to drive our delivery vehicle for whatever reason, maybe filling it up with gas, oh, that's a pain. It's a Corolla hybrid, but sometimes I forget to lock the car because I just walk away. I have that, you know, I just get used to that. So it's one of those things that you don't think about until you go back to an old car or a non-electric vehicle that you start like thinking, why isn't it like this, right? Sentry mode is Tesla's like security system with camera. I think that's just amazing. I could view it remotely as well, so I love that about this car. Being able to charge at home, so it's like I have my own personal gas station. I wake up, and again, it's the convenience. The large space, once again, when the seats are down, I really like that. And finally, really the biggest thing is just saving money and time. There's still a lot of misinformation out there that, you know, people think you're gonna spend more money, or, you know, like, look, if that's what you believe, then, you know, I'm enjoying my savings. Now, I'm one of the few, or maybe a small number of people who drive a lot, and the more you drive these cars, the more money you're gonna save, the more time you're gonna save. So that's why that's like one of my biggest likes, is saving money and saving time. As you can see, 180 days, it only took 180 days to drive 10,000 miles, right? So I use this car a lot. This is my daily driver. And I'm actually working remotely a few times a week. So I actually, if I was on my previous schedule, I would be driving more. I would have hit 10,000 miles probably within, you know, 160 days maybe, or 150 days. Who knows? But I drive this car a lot. Now, I did mention that I was going to talk about dislikes, and to be honest, I don't have any dislikes really. I mean, the only thing I could mention that I miss with my Model 3, it's the good and the bad, is that my Model 3 sat lower on the ground, and I love driving that car, especially going up in the mountains and all those curves and turns. It's just like that Model 3 just hugs the road, right? So that's what I miss. I guess that's what, I don't know if it's a dislike, because at the same time, one of the reasons why I gave up the Model 3 was I'm getting old, and getting in and out of that car, my lower back is just like, not gonna happen, man. So that's why this is one of the reasons that I wanted a taller vehicle than the Model 3, which is the Model Y. Now for other, again, 10,000 miles, Model Y Performance. Model Y Performance has staggered setup on the wheels, meaning that the wheels on the back and the rear are wider, so they're different size. You can't rotate them front to back. I think you could rotate them across. I haven't done any rotation or alignment. I haven't really felt that it needed alignment, and one way you can tell is you just drive somewhere safe, let go of the steering wheel, don't use autopilot, and just drive. I mean, at a good amount of speed, not too fast. If that steering wheel tugs left or tugs right, you know, then it might be time for an alignment. Now, as far as thread or anything, I don't see any uneven wear, so I haven't found a need to rotate or need for an alignment so far, and this is 10,000 miles. Had to switch environments because there's a lot of background noise, people cutting grass and everything. But so the next thing I wanted to cover is in California, Southern California, we've recently had some weird weather lately. We had snow, and lots of it. So what happened is the driver's side pillar camera, I started getting warnings about there's obstruction that could affect the camera, the vision and all that. So go ahead and clean it. And when I went and checked, there was moisture or condensation buildup inside the camera housing. And at first I was like, oh man, like there might be a seal that's broken, or because how else would have gotten in there, right? I went ahead and scheduled on the app service appointment, and I messaged the person I knew at the service center and just mentioned to him like, hey man, there's some buildup, and you know, just want to let you know, but now it's gone. But I took a picture of it. So he sent me a link to the Model Y manual that pretty much said, this is normal. So go check the description of this video. I have the link there. It's very interesting. I did not know that that was a normal thing. So if you ever get that, just wait for it to clear up. It is a known issue. Well, it's not even a known issue, but it is a known feature. I don't know if it's a feature, but it's a known characteristics. Is that the word? So don't worry. Yeah. Now another thing is I spilled coffee on the white seats, but it's not too noticeable. It's near my right leg. Yeah, it's bound to happen. I never did that in my Model 3 white seats, but I did it in the Model Y. Oh, but I gotta have my coffee. Another thing, the frunk, oh, it closes so smoothly. I just love how this frunk closes. Unlike the other Teslas I've owned, this one I think is the most smoothest, easiest. So yeah. Next is track mode is finally there. It was part of the December 2022 big update, holiday update. So if you don't know, Model 3 Performance first had track mode. Model Y Performance never had it when they first released it, but now they do through a software update over the air. No need to go to the dealership to get it installed. It's over the air. But now it's there. I haven't gotten time to play with it. I want to take it to the track. I just found out that the nearby track, the Speedway, they sold it and they're gonna tear it down. But I think they're gonna have another area set aside just for messing around. So one of these days I'm gonna bring it there. And then I also got some accessories, the usual weather floor mats, screen protector on the 15-inch screen. The center console organizer. I did a video on it, so go check it out. The other thing I recently subscribed to is the MyQ Garage opener. I was going to get the actual hardware garage opener, but it was like $375. Our garage already has MyQ in it, and I think the 5-year subscription is like $179 or something. So, you know, I don't know how long I'm gonna keep the Model Y. I may trade it in for the truck, or I may just keep it alongside the Cybertruck, or maybe Rivian. With all the software updates and everything, this car feels always new. The only thing you don't get is the hardware updates. But, you know. Now for issues, I don't recall any build quality issues, and if there were any like panel gaps or anything misalignments like that, I probably just ignored it. Again, this is our third Tesla. At this point, I just ignore it. It's nothing, like, to me it's nothing really. Like, if it doesn't affect my way of driving, if it's not too noticeable, I just ignore it. Because these are cars and I drive the car. If it doesn't affect me getting to my work, to wherever I need to go, it's not a Tesla without panel gaps, I guess. I don't know. Now I did notice there's like a misalignment on the glass roof towards the back, where the trunk is. I'm gonna show some footage on there. I don't know if you could tell, but it's like towards the center. There is a misalignment. I don't hear any wind noise from it, so I don't know, maybe it's just cosmetic. I don't know. It's not affecting anything. So yeah, I mean, the only thing of concern is if it's mechanical issues or related to functionality, then that's where I would be worried about. Other than cosmetic, like if it's cosmetic, I tend to just ignore or don't even look for it. and never really had it. There was some rattles in the passenger rear pillar of the car, I've noticed, but it just went away. I don't hear it anymore. I don't notice it anymore. So there is intermittent connection. I did a video on this where the app and the car sometimes do not connect. They said that they're supposed to have some kind of software update targeting the vehicles that are affected. I may or may not have already gotten it, but it didn't fix it, because from time to time it takes a very long time. Sometimes they won't even connect at all. I'll get like a 503 error or something. And so it's kind of frustrating if you're out and you want to preheat the car, pre-cool the car, or if you're charging, you want to see the status of the charging, the state of charge, so that you can come back and unplug and leave before you get charged the any overages or idling fees. You can't do that if you can't connect to the car. So it is rare, but it does happen. I would say it happens a couple of times a month. It's a lot, but yeah, and it's random, so it's hard to troubleshoot that stuff. So another thing is whenever I get phone calls, sometimes it doesn't connect to the Bluetooth audio in the car, so I have to tell the phone, instead of connect to the Bluetooth, enable speaker. Also, if I try to make phone calls, sometimes the phone will try to like call the person, but I'm like, why is it not ringing? As soon as I put it on speaker instead of Bluetooth audio, then it starts to ring. So there's like some kind of weird, like, I don't know what's happening between the phone and the car's Bluetooth audio. So that kind of is a pain. Again, it happens randomly. It doesn't happen frequently, but it happens probably as many times as that intermittent connection thing. And then this next one, I actually scheduled an appointment. I get these vibrations on the accelerator and the brake pedal. And I notice it happening, again, random thing. Like I can't figure out how to replicate. And so when I go to the service center, they're going to do a test drive with me, and I'm worried that I can't replicate it. But I'm trying to take note of when it does happen, like what conditions are there. But what I did notice is when I take the foot off the accelerator, regen braking kicks in, and then that point where if it needs more brakes, then the regular brake will apply. So I don't know if you've noticed, but the brake pedals actually have pressure. You're not putting your foot over it or pressing it, because one pedal driving, your foot is usually over just the accelerator, not the brake pedal. But I have noticed that when it starts to slow down using the traditional brakes, the brake pedal actually has pressure on it, like it's pressing on its own. So I think it's that period where it switches from regen braking to regular braking that the vibrations occur. I spoke to one of the service tech, texting him, and he said it could be the road itself. Maybe that's causing the vibration. Maybe this is a bad road. And I'm like, nah, man, I know what that is, because if it's the road, other things would start to vibrate or whatever, but it was specific to the pedals. And it sounds like, those door stumps or whatever that have a spring that goes, so it sounds like that. And I don't have any video footage of it because, again, it's just random. It's just random, right? So hopefully I can replicate this during my visit at the service center. If not, man, I don't know. Hopefully they can just take a look at it and see if it's something that's normal, or I don't know. But are you guys getting that weird vibration on your pedals during that time of regen braking and switching to braking? I don't know. But that's when I notice it happens. So, okay, so here is the data. I wish I'd screenshotted all this stuff and took note the day I hit 10,000 at that point, but I didn't. Sorry. But according to the energy app on the Tesla app, April 2022 to March 2023, it's a 1-year period, and obviously this car is not a year old because I got it in August, but I just flipped it there. The total amount of energy I've charged is 3,487 kilowatt hours. Now the cost is $970 for charging. At this point, I'm at 10,382 miles. And that $970 worth of charging is equivalent to $2,164 worth of gas. I don't know how much per gallon that is, and I'm not really sure how they're calculating that. Maybe just the national average, but I'll look into it, and if I find any info, I'll put it on the screen also. The breakdown is at home. I did $416 worth of charging at 34 cents per kilowatt hour on average, because I charge at different times of the day. At superchargers, I spent $541, an average of 24 cents per kilowatt hour. 24 cents per kilowatt hour in California is very low. This is an average price, because again, I charge at like the low times, right? Like early in the morning or late at night. That's when you're supposed to charge. I could charge during the day, but again, the reason why I bought a Tesla is to save money, and I'm doing it, right? Okay, so then there's this other that it says that I spent $12 at an average of 27 cents per kilowatt hour. So I'm assuming these are the times I've charged at non-Tesla superchargers, whether it could be just plugging into a 110 outlet or charging at ChargePoint. I have a video on that. I charged at EVgo and Electrify America. So I don't charge there often. That's why it only calculated $12. But yeah, so pretty interesting. That's really about it for this video. I hit the 10,000 mile mark. This car is amazing. You may have noticed I never mentioned about the speed or any other thing, because there's tons of videos talking about the performance and stuff. I'm a practical guy. I'm sharing information. I'm just sharing information from a practical standard, everyday use. Everybody knows these cars are fast, right? So I'm not even gonna go over that. I'm talking about saving money. I'm talking about convenience. I'm talking about saving time, stuff like that. And finally, before I go, I want to ask this very important question. While I was charging, there was a Model Y Performance, same exterior color, parked, and it had mud flaps. Now my friend Erwin, shout out to Erwin, has been telling me, dude, you gotta get mud flaps. So here is a picture with mud flaps, and here is mine without mud flaps. Let me know, should I get mud flaps? I'm on both sides of the camp, yay and nay, but let me know what y'all think. Should I get mud flaps? It's not necessary in California because we rarely get rain. Although recently we've been getting some weird weather, so maybe I am going to end up using the mud flaps. But it's mainly aesthetics in California because we don't get a lot of rain. So let me know in the comments below, should I get mud flaps? Should I not get mud flaps? So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm coming to you with more content. I can't wait to share more information with you and all that. So see you all in the next video. Thank you.